Hello everyone and welcome to my channel Venus Visions, and today is a very excited video. As you can see, I'm all decked up as the buses drive by. I am all decked up. I have my 888 necklace happening. It is August and today is a very exciting topic because we're going to be talking about the Lion Gate portal, which has already opened up and it's happening, but tomorrow 8/8 is going to be the most potent day. So if you want to know more about the Lion's Gate portal in terms of divine feminine energy and teachings, and what does it mean for us divine feminines, and how we can harness this energy to just kickstart the next year or even more, because this energy is so potent right now and it's literally a portal. So if you'd like to know all that information, stay tuned. By the way, look at all my flowers behind me. All these beautiful flowers and roses. They're all real except for these roses in the middle. And then this is actually a candle right here with water. So the flowers inside are not real. And I have another one on this side too. It's a little bit longer next to all my oils. So anyways, and then I have my own crown which has roses, and this reminds me of just like sun rays, and so I thought it was very fitting for today's video. And so yeah, let's get started. What is the Lion's Gate portal? So if you're into spirituality, esoteric knowledge, astrology, astronomy, I mean, even if you're not into all of this stuff, if you're just on social media, you have most likely heard of Lion's Gate portal, and you've started to hear about it in specifically in the last few couple of, I want to say three to 4 years or so. And it is a very exciting time for us spiritual people because so the Lion's Gate portal is literally an energetic portal, right? So first, let me tell you what it means physically, what is happening scientifically. So it is an actual astronomical event that is happening right now, which happens every year around this time in August, and it is the most potent in 8/8, which is August 8th, and it has to deal with the star Sirius, one of the brightest stars in our solar system. So this started happening July 28th and it's going to last up to August 12th. So if you miss the energy tomorrow, that's okay, you still have time up until August 12th. And actually in ancient times, this time was celebrated a lot, and specifically in ancient Egypt, because this was the time that signified the start of the new farming season and the start of the flooding of the Nile River, which was very important at the time because the Nile River, a lot of people credit Egypt for the Nile River because the way it was built around it, it's because of the water and the fertile soils and all of that, people were able to get food and survive and build empires. And so the Nile River is a very important river because it is spiritually too, but physically it has fed millions of people and home millions of people, and even animals, so it's not just people. Apart from it being the longest river in the world and one of the only few rivers that actually goes from south to north, defying gravity, which means the water literally goes up. But anyways, this is not about the Nile River. It's crazy. I have some Nile River water right next to me. I put it in a water bottle and I literally just used it this morning, and so all this Nile River energy is just like woo. But I'm very excited about today's video. So I'll give you some of the facts, but also most of it's going to be channeled and whatever wants to come out. I did write a few things here and there so I don't just get off topic too much, because, you know, I like to ramble and just talk. But for the most part, the knowledge that's going to come through is going to be channeled. So yeah, this was a very important event, and it was also signifying the new year for ancient Egypt. So it was a time for celebration. It was time where people really truly loved this time of year. It was the new farming season. There's gonna be new food. There's gonna be celebrations, dancing. The energy is very high. The sun is in Leo. It's home. It's home basically. So if you don't speak astrology, every planet has its own home, if you will. And so the natural state of the sun is Leo, so which is why actually Leo, I believe it is the strongest astrological sign. So if you're born a Leo, and you are very special. I might make a video about this later on, so we can talk about it later. But yeah, the sun is in its home state. So typically when people ask you like what's your sign, what that means is your sun sign. But there are also other planets, and this is just for people who are not very aware. They don't know what's really going on. It just means the position where the sun was in when you were born. So when the sun is in the house of Leo, it's a certain space in space that is called Leo. When the sun is there, it means it is in its home, basically in a home space. And any planet that is in its home place is typically much more potent. The energy is more stronger. So the sun being in Leo is something that they celebrated a lot. And also the Sphinx, which I just came back from one of the most powerful initiation to the goddess of the Sphinx. The Sphinx, which is a body of a lioness or a lion, and the face was actually a woman. A lot of people will tell you it was a man or it's depicted as a masculine. Actually, it was a feminine energy. The Sphinx, the reason why they built it to be the lion was because it was built during the age of Leo. And this is very like, this type of information not many know of. Because the reason why it's because it messes up with a lot of timelines that we've been told about our modern history. And time is very important because time tells a lot of truth. But anyways, all of that to the side, it was built during the time of the age of Leo. And so because the sun is something that is very honored and very important to the ancient Egyptians. They honored it and they gave it the name Ra, right? For the sun to be in its home state, that was a time of celebration. So typically, a lot of spirituality deals with studying nature. And it's not just spirituality. Wherever there's creation, there's invention. Anything that's been invented by humans is typically something that was copied or mimicked from nature. So as we say in our ancient Egyptian, the Kemetic message behind everything, if you put all of thought's teaching in one, it is as above, so below, so within, as within, so without. And the second thing is know thyself. So in order to know thyself, to know yourself, you can also study nature. And there, like I said, as within, so without. You'll find exact copies. And as above, what's going on in the sky and the solar with the stars is typically when there's a lot of energy happening, it means that internally we have this energy as well. We can use this energy. Woo, sorry. My alarm. Yeah, we can use this energy. We can harness this energy to create or whatever the energy was meant for. So yeah, so right now the energy represents a lot of fire, internal sun. So in our solar system, the sun, we also have an internal sun. And if you watch my last video, it is so exciting. I literally just posted it and I was like, perfect timing right before, I posted it during the Lionscape. And I didn't even realize it until today. Which was about Sekhmet, the goddess Sekhmet of ancient Egypt. She's another one associated that you can connect with her energy at this time. And she governs the solar plexus, which is the internal sun, which is a chakra in your body, which is a chakra means an energetic, open energetic portal in your own body. So your own sacral chakra, your own solar plexus right now is a time for awakening, activating, and healing it. And connecting with the sun. It is a time of fertility as well. So it is a good time to create new projects, to create babies, to start something new. But at the same time, it is also a time of releasing, getting rid of the old, burning the old. I also just recently did I do this kind of ritual where I write down blocks, or I write down something that I want to get rid of. And I just recently did it 2 days ago. This is a great time to let go of what no longer serves you and to face them. So also Leo represents courage, that lion. It also represents the heart chakra, because Leo governs the heart, even though Leo represents the sun, right? A Leo also governs the heart. So this is a time to open your heart and to just feel that passion, that fiery passion, and birth your passions into reality. Be it a project, be it a relationship, be it, whatever it is that you want to do, but at the same time, which is interesting because typically what we see like during different times and astrological times, or even our own physical internal clock, especially as women, which we know we have the 28 cycle, that's our own like the way how Earth goes through, or all the planets go through their own seasons. We have our own internal season. And so winter time can be considered when you are on your period, and that's a time of releasing, time of letting go of the old. So yeah, there's typically the time to release, and it's the same thing with the moon. In spirituality, when people want to do like releasing work, or like even banishing or getting rid of like bad energies or bad blocks or insecurity, whatever it is that you have internally that you no longer serves you, that time is typically separated from the time of like birth and bringing things into fruition. But right now, this portal is so unique because you can do all of it all at once, and it's almost like it collapsed time. So it doesn't matter how old these blocks are. These blocks can be from your ancestors. If you put your intention into using this time and this potent energy for like, okay, I know I've worked on this for so long, and I've done it over and over again, and I still have these blocks, but I believe that this time it's really going to be done and for good, then you're already there. Like if you have that intention, just start writing things down, burn it, let it go. And you don't have to write it. This is my own way of like transmuting things that I no longer want, because I like to see it in the physical. So when I write it down, I see it physically, and then when I burn it, transmutation, that's alchemy through fire. It literally transforms the words, the blocks, that I made it into a physical word. So I took it from my internal block, I made it physical by writing it down, and then I burned that part. And when you burn it, you literally transmute it. So the fire, energy cannot be created or destroyed. You can't destroy energy. This is science, right? So when you're burning something, just because it disappears, just because there's ashes, or even now I'm burning some incense, the fire is making it like become a smell, and it kind of looks like it's gone because you can't see it. It doesn't mean it wasn't transmuted into another form. It was just sent to wherever it needed to be sent, wherever the vibration it matches it, but it no longer matches me. So yeah, write it down. Let it go. One things that I've been focusing on to let go specifically is money blocks and business blocks. So I want to focus more on creating more content and then birthing my business. I started writing down what are the blocks that I had. So I had a lot of blocks regarding social media, and I have another YouTube channel which was I was speaking my own language, and that one was I wasn't very proud of it towards the end, but it grew really quickly. I think I'm almost at 300K. I was monetized. I have a couple videos in the millions, but it wasn't like doing anything that fulfills me. It was more like just vlogs and like makeup, and I was not the best at makeup either at the time, but it was more just like being myself and just filming random stuff. But somehow I just felt this block, and the more I grew, the less I wanted to share, and eventually I just stopped posting. It's been going on 3 years probably, And now that I feel like this, I love to teach. It's something I've been doing since I was little. When I was younger, I used to pretend like whenever I was with my cousins, I would always play the teacher, or like when I'm at home, I would pretend that my teddy bears are like students and I would be the teacher. So I wanted to start teaching, and I'm also very I'm a person that dives deep into esoteric and divine feminine knowledge and just spirituality in general. And I've been doing this for many years. I've done readings for people. I've channeled. So to put two and two together, it fulfills me to be able to teach, because teaching this types of topics is something that I am passionate about. Um, but what was stopping me, and as you can see, this channel's been here for like 5 months and I've only posted like 5 videos, but now I feel like I feel this a passion kind of coming back, which was, it disappeared from my first channel. But yeah, what was stopping me was I just felt like when there was I don't know, when there was too many eyes on me, I felt like afraid of being seen. I had this fear and this block, and now I understand. And it took me about 3 years to fully transmute this block of being seen, of specifically when it comes to this type of topics. And a lot of us women have this, because for my own ancestors, it wasn't safe for us. It wasn't with all the women and witch burnings and like all this stuff is still all this remembrance from our past traumas and the wars, and it was always the women are whores and they're witches, and they're, if you're very spiritual, or if you like even nature, or if you like to learn about herbs, even though women were the first doctors, they were the first healers before the modern medical industry as we know it today was given birth, when patriarchy took over. And it all started by burning the pharmacies of these women, which they taught the men. There was no men healers, no medicine people. And so all of these traumas and stuff like that, and just also being from a different tradition where my own ancestors or my own country was from at least this life was we were victimized. Our traditions were almost, they wanted to erase it. It wasn't cool, it wasn't nice, it wasn't beautiful unless you copied what the Western, whichever country that occupied your country, unless you copied their style, which was typically Western. And for me, North Africa, we were colonized by France, we were colonized by Spain, but most recently it was France for 40 plus years. So even speaking your own like dialect was considered low class. And so your own traditions, where our tradition had a lot of spirituality, even though there's religion and stuff like that, and spirituality that came from before the religion was brought, but stuff that you can even use in religion, just burning incense, burning oud, the way they did the prayers, the rituals before the prayers, after the prayers, the healing, the herbal healing. There's so much herbal medicine going on, and it still goes on, but it's like hidden and people do it in secret because it's either considered low class or looked down upon, or like, oh, those people believe in whatever, they're crazy, they don't believe in the science. The science is what the French brought to us. And so all these things like have accumulated and made me basically like my throat chakra was blocked. And if I did talk about it, and if I did open up about spiritual things and things that I knew naturally, and how I was able to connect and heal and cleanse myself, and just how powerful I was, it was only to like really close friends, or like the people I started eventually doing readings for, which I didn't even have a website, which eventually I'm gonna start putting it on a website. I didn't even have a website. It was just through word of mouth, and it was the same people that came to me over and over again, and just things like that. I was still fearful of coming on here and creating something that I love, and which is to help the divine feminine and masculines come into remembrance of who we truly are as divine beings, as divine souls, and as human beings. And that's basically that's basically my goal, really, and that's something that I love, I'm passionate about. And so these are been the blocks that I've been getting rid of. All this fear, the fear that it's not safe for me, I burnt that away. The fear is speaking out and telling my truth, being who I truly am, a divine, powerful being who is very talented, who is a clear vessel for the spirit to speak right through me. And I honor that. Not only am I not afraid of that anymore, but I honor it and I respect it. So thank you, spirit. Yeah, what else? So yeah, this is a time of our healing, time of letting go, but also a time of realization. It is going to take you deep into seeing what really is working and what is not working, because the solar plexus and the sun, so your sun sign. Okay, let's get back to astrology a little bit. When people ask about your sun sign, by the way, I know my nails are disgusting right now. They're like, I had a really bad experience recently with nails, with a nail salon. So I've been letting them heal for the last four weeks or so. But it's okay. We're not going to talk about that because we're only going to speak things we want to bring more of. So my nails are going to be so perfect so soon. And I am just so excited for my healthy. Typically, I do have really healthy, strong nails. It's just been one experience. And I don't think I'm going to have it, many of these, because like I've been to the salon thousands and thousands of times. And this was my first and only bad experience. But that's okay. No worries. Yeah, what was I talking about? Yeah, it's solar plexus and the sun sign. Your sun sign means, and it typically represents your personality, your view on your own self, what you show up to the world. So that's the solar plexus, who you are, your confidence. And I had a block in my solar plexus for like years, and then I tried to figure out what it was. And you know, it represents your confidence. It represents your boundaries, your ability to have clear boundaries. So in this time right now, you're getting deep into who you are, what you like, what you don't like. So this is a very potent, and I know this is probably different from the other knowledge or videos you've heard, because people typically only talk about, oh, this is a good time for money and abundance. And we're going to get to that, because of course it is. And we love money and abundance around here. The goddess of divine feminine and abundance and money are like, you know. So yeah, that's part of it, but going deep into who you are, know thyself, you know, this is a very important time where you're going to be facing those fears that are stopping you from living and doing and breathing and becoming the person, the thing that fulfills you, what makes you happy, the thing that you value. You know, values is an important time right now. You're going to be able to see what are your values. So with letting go of these fears I had about being judged, and through social media having so many eyes on me, and letting go of this illusion or this belief I had that, oh, social media is bad, and it's not true, because the social media is good. You know, that's how I am able to connect with people from all over the world, and people who are meant to be here, who are meant to watch this very potent, activating, you know, knowledge actually. So yeah, it just makes you face these things, like, and makes you face your beliefs and your illusions. And this is a good time to do that, because you'll have the courage to do that. The lion represents courage. You'll have the heart. It represents the heart. It's a good time to have your heart open if your heart's been closed for a while. This is such an amazing time for heart chakra remembrance, heart chakra opening and activating, and really allowing your heart for once and for all just to feel it being open, and specifically towards your own self. Because as we said, also Venus right now is in Leo, even though it is retrograding in Leo. It's going to go back station, which everybody, all the astrology families and communities are talking about it. So that's also a thing to remember. Leo again represents the heart, and the fact that Venus is in Leo. My Venus is in Leo. Venus represents love, and it can represent all kinds of love. And then the solar, which is the sun, represents your own personal view on yourself. So if you tie all the events that's going on in the sky and how it can work for you, it typically can mean seeing what you're passionate about, what you love to do, and self-love. It is such a good time to work on your self-love. For many years I thought, just because I didn't hate myself, that I loved myself, and it's not true. Self-love doesn't mean not hating yourself. Just because I didn't despise myself didn't mean I didn't love myself. To love yourself, you have to know yourself first. Know thyself. So this is such a good time, because when you start to know who you truly are from a powerful, very esoteric level, that love naturally happens. So I just love this time right now. Thank you, thank you, thank you. And just to be aware of it too, to remember, and just to be aware of it will automatically activate this remembrance within you, even if you don't know it. So the fact that you guys are here and watching this video and getting all this information, you're tapping into this energy because you're being aware of it. So I'm excited for that. Time of letting go of old skin. So kind of like the snake, you know, the 8 represents infinity. It can also represent the snake, you know, doing the infinite sign. So shedding of the old skin, and then at the same time birthing, bringing to fruition what you want. Money, 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 honey. Yes, we love money around here. So this is a very good time to manifest money. Leo definitely represents money. A lot of Leos, if you know a Leo in your life, they're most likely successful, or they know how to make money. They just know. And Leo is that money, like over the top. They love luxury, and I love luxury and just being glamour and decked out and looking your best. And you know, you're created in this beautiful goddess or god vessel, in this beautiful body. Why not adorn yourself? Why not wear expensive fabrics? Why not smell good and clean yourself? So that is the Leo abundance. So your beauty in abundance, your energy in abundance, your money is in abundance, your everything is abundance. And being wealthy. So this is a good time to also manifest money. 888 represents money. It's been my favorite number for a long time, and I didn't even know why. And people that know me personally, you know, all my handles have always been my name, and then 888. And it represents money. It represents infinity. 888 is the number of abundance. And this is my birth month, by the way, so I'm excited. I'm on the cusp between Leo and Virgo, but I am more of a Virgo myself. However, having the Venus in Leo, I have a lot of fire in my chart as well. But yeah, money has always been around me, even when I resisted it and I had my own blocks that let it go. Somehow it always came to me, and I was always the one pushing it away, or I found a way to just spend it and just let it go, because I didn't feel safe having money. I didn't feel safe having lots of money. So that was one thing I also transmuted and let go and dead recently, was my fear of having money, of having success, of being able to generate money and overflow and easily, and allow it to come to my life easily. I don't need to work hard and do this and do that. And no, money comes to those who understand the energy of it and understand the energy of themselves. Know thyself. Yeah, if you would like to manifest some money, this is a great portal time to bring that money, honey, into your life as well. My camera died. I don't know where it stopped, but I was saying, if you can imagine something in the infinite, if you can imagine it in your head, there's no limits. It means it's being created in the infinite. So right now is a good time to connect with that infinite energy, infinity. It's a good time to connect with spirituality. It's a good time to connect with the sun, the essence of the sun, and let it give to you energetically, even if you don't understand it. Look at Without the sun, literally, if the sun was to disappear for 1 week, every single thing on this planet would be dead. The plants would die, humans would die, there would be no food, and eventually everything would die, including the trees, because how are we gonna smell the oxygen if there's no trees? Everything needs the sun. Think of the sun as giving us this energetic things that we can't see, which we know this is scientifically true, but to just like dismiss it and be like, oh, I can't see it, that means the sun is not giving me this energy, is just crazy to me. It's not crazy that people are sitting here and saying, sitting under the sun, I'm receiving infinite technology and information and healing and vitamins and so many benefits. That's not crazy to me. What's crazy to me is the people who think that being under the sun, there's no benefit to you, because we know even scientifically that's not true. And we know just because you can't see something doesn't mean it doesn't exist. Like gravity is still gonna pull you down even though you can't see it, right? So yeah, be in the sun, go out in the sun. The sun is so potent right now and it's so beautiful, and it's always beautiful for me. I love the sun. I credit the sun so much when it comes to my healing, especially when my mom had like just passed away. It was a very traumatic time for me, and where I was dove right deep into the underworld. But the sun was something I always went out, and I didn't speak to anyone, but I just connected, and I received that beautiful energy. And it's a very beautiful energy right now that you can connect to, and it will also awaken your third eye, your crown chakra. It will literally transmute information straight to your subconscious, to your heart, even if you don't even know it. And in the next few months, you're gonna start to see the results of all of this stuff. So be out in the sun. The sun is more than your friend. The sun is very powerful. The sun is the reason why we are alive. We need the sun, and it will help you remember who you truly are. This is a potent time. It will help you with self-love, like I said, your chakra. Yeah, so some goddesses you can work with right now is Sekhmet. You can watch my last video on how you can work with Sekhmet. And also I talked about how she showed up to me. Durga Ma, because Durga is on her lion. And any goddess that represents a lion, lioness, or has a lion or a lioness next to them. And then also my country's, our national animal is the Atlas lion, which is the biggest type of lion. They're extinct now because the Europeans used to go there and hunt for them, but I believe they like recently saw, like someone saw in the mountains, like I don't know if this is true, but I saw in a news article where it was spotted somewhere. So I'm like, the divine lion is back, because it is the strongest species of lion. It is the largest, and it is the most beautiful. If you see the pictures, it just looks so majestic, like, you know, that lion with all the hair. And our lioness, so our women are lionesses. Like even our national soccer team, which they're in the World Cup right now, we call them the lionesses. So I just love being from a land that honors the lion so much. And I just came back from Jamaica, and the lion is so big in Jamaica, especially like with the Bob Marley, his town, and the Rastafarian beliefs. You know, the lion was such a symbol, power of love, of the heart. The lion has the biggest heart in the jungle, even though they're the strongest. And by the way, the lionesses do all the hunting. I went to safari in Kenya a few years ago, amazing time. And we were lucky enough to see it in action, because when you're in safari, you're not going to be able to see them hunting, because usually a lot of it happens at night. And typically nighttime, there's no safaris going around. But whenever there's like action, a lot of the like car tours or whatever, because you're in like this car, like it's open at the top, you know, the safari cars, whatever they're called. And you'll hear in the walkie-talkies of the drivers like talking to each other, oh, there's the lioness hunting, and like we were the first ones to find it. So it was interesting because during the 3 day safari, when we saw lions, like the males, they would literally be sleeping all day, and apparently they sleep 20 hours a day. And the lionesses are so majestic. And we were like right there, like you just look down and then a lion would be taking a nap and literally wake up, look at us, and go back to sleep. They're used to it, people driving around. This was Masai Mara, the largest safari, natural safari in the world. And so, yeah, we saw lioness hunting. But yeah, the males would typically sleep, but it was the females that brought food to the family. And so the Sphinx, again, being a feminine, again, it also represents fertility. Oh my God. Ah! Yes, 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 yes. I love when like things click for me because it's just nice. So the thing about the Sphinx being fertility, a lot of women, specifically in Egypt, and this is modern times, I'm talking about like a few years ago, like maybe before I was born or something, when a lot of women that are unable to have children, one of the rituals or things that they're told to do is to go and leave offerings at the Sphinx, and then they would be able to get pregnant. So because Egypt is an Islamic country and this was very frowned upon, eventually the ruler, I think it was a king at the time or whatever, the king or president, but I believe it was a king, he made it illegal. So ever since then, it was very illegal for women to bring things into the Sphinx and leave them as offerings. And even now, I did a Sphinx ritual recently, and I talked to you guys in the beginning about my initiation at the Sphinx, and it happened at like sunrise, and it was a private access where we were able to be right in her arms. The first time I went to Egypt, I didn't have this private access, so this takes months on a list, a lot of money involved, a lot of like know who to know. So our group, our beautiful divine feminine group, we were able to go there at like right sunrise. So the Sphinx is located right where the pyramids are, but at that time everything was still closed, so there was no tourists at the pyramids, nobody was there, it was literally empty, our group and the security and the people that worked there. And it was just such a magical time, such a morning, and just to sit right there. So yeah, the first time I went to Egypt, I can post a picture if I find it. You can see you're actually very far away. People are not allowed to go next to the Sphinx. Tourists and people like that. But this time around, a few months ago, actually two months ago, we had access to go there. So I literally had no shoes. I was grounding into her energy, and it was such a divine feminine energy. And again, like I said, this is such a fertile time to be able to birth whatever it is you want to birth. So it can be business, it can be a marriage, or if you're calling in your divine husband, this is the time to manifest. So literally, like I said, the government of Egypt made it illegal to go to the Sphinx and leave offerings, because women who were not fertile, who wanted to be able to have babies, would go there and they would be able to have babies. So now we're connected to this line energy worldwide, and the portal is wide open and it's the strongest. This is the time to manifest. This is the time to give your offerings, which write them down. This is what I'm manifesting. This is what I want. And then what I do right now, what I have is I have a paper of things I want to birth, and I close it and I have it under my pillow. So when I sleep at night, there's some type of mystery that happens there. But yeah, it's a time of bringing things into fruition. So the Sphinx, like I said, Durgama, Sekhmet. So yeah, the Sphinx goddess. So any goddess or divine feminine energy, or even if you work with masculine energies, any deity that represents the lion, that is close to the lion. You can even listen to Bob Marley's music. It will bring that lion energy to you. He has a couple songs about lion. Iron, like lion. There's a lot about lion. Mount Zion too, which I went there recently in Jamaica. Very spectacular, very spiritual experience for me, and I'm very connected to Bob Marley, especially him being Aquarius. He's the very definition of Aquarius, which is a human that's here to awaken the collective and to stop oppression and to have peace within the world. So, and right now the moon is in Aquarius too. So this is a time. Another goddess you can also work with is Subtet from ancient Egypt, and she's actually represented by the star Sirius. So remember how I said right now what happens in the astronomical event is that Sirius, that's about the star Sirius, and she is represented by the goddess Subtet. And sometimes she's depicted as having a star on top of her head, which is so beautiful. Is a time of death and birth at once. It all collapsed. And that has been kind of like my where I've been kind of walking the path of this spirituality, is especially after my mom's passing transition. I was taken into this whole deeper initiation of what does it mean to have death and rebirth. And this is a whole other topic I might even make a video on, but let me just talk about it real quick before I finish up this video. This is kind of like the essence of the mystery of what this whole thing is about, of who we even are, why are we here, what's going on. The answer can be found in the mystery between the death and the birth. Because, and I heard a person recently who I love so much, I listened to her podcast, she said every time there's a death, there's a birth happening, and every time there's a birth, there's a death happening. And it's so true. And right now we live in the time where that is happening physically. The portal is open where things can be happening at once. So many deaths and so many births coming through. So death of what? Death of the old, death of what needs to go, time to go. Everything has a time. Everything has a time to transition from one state to the other. And it is time to let go of what no longer serves you, the packages that you were just holding on to that are no longer serving you. It is the time to let those go, and at the same time free up the space so that you can birth in beautiful things with intention. Sometimes we call things into our life without intention. So sometimes they're good, sometimes they're bad, but we're not doing it intentionally. We're not focused on, oh, this is what I want for my life. We just kind of letting it happen. But when you intentionally set the goal and you say, no, this is what I want to birth. Now I have the space. Now I did the clearing. Everything was dead. I have the space, and instead of allowing anything to just be birthed like randomly, I'm going to set an intention and write down or make it clear within myself, within my heart, what it is I am birthing. I'm birthing self-love. And this is me personally, and also while I'm saying all this, also transmuting it into you guys so that we may birth this together. We're divine feminine beings, powerful birthers, powerful creators, creatrix as well. I am birthing deeper self-love, deeper understanding. I am birthing more courage to open up and speak my truth, and more courage to be seen as a divine feminine, and more courage to be a vessel, a channel, so that I may be able to give you this powerful, loving knowledge. I am birthing a powerful divine feminine business where I get to help feminine energies remember and birth in the new earth, which the divine feminine and masculine will be in harmony once again. I am birthing an open heart full of love and compassion and forgiveness. I am birthing more understanding. I am birthing more abundance, more money into my life. Yeah, I hope that you guys enjoyed this video. Please do like, subscribe. It helps us a lot. We are a new channel, and I'm looking forward to whatever comes next for these videos. And also, I would like to suggest another thing you guys can do besides doing the fire, like writing things down and burning them, and then writing things down that you want to birth and putting it under your pillow. One last thing I would like you guys to do is meditate, and you can have there are some meditations online that are guided meditations. So you can do Lion's Gate meditations, you can do a Sekhmet meditation, you can do a money meditation, the sun meditation. So you can look up all these different meditations, and this is a good time to meditate right now as well, and just to get internally and know who you are and know thyself. So yeah, this is it for me. Otherwise, I'm gonna keep talking for a while. I hope you guys enjoyed it. Please do like, subscribe, share your comments below, and I will see you guys in another video. Bye.